I'm a little bit surprised with the fact that Riot is putting out good products after good products. And it's all about the one game, League of Legends. So, Project Arcane is actually really great. One of the few good Western shows on Netflix that I enjoy. Their League of Legends card game is something that I liked a lot more than Hearthstone because there's a lot more strategy to it and it's a lot more in depth. Also costs less money to play. And now you get this, which is Project L, and it looks amazing. I really love the background. It's got Piltover in one place and the city of Zon in the other. And what I really liked, that I was actually surprised, is just how well they managed to incorporate the style of the characters within a fighting game. I mean, taking a character from a MOBA and putting them in a fighting game so that they can keep their toolkit is probably very difficult. And what I saw, Jinx, for example, is a really good zoner. So let's wait for her to come up. And look at her, like she's got all these ranged attacks, and she's got all this keep away game. It's really great. Echo as well. I mean, they actually have a presentation with him, and the way he can use the time to rewind and extend combos is really amazing. I don't know if it's actually going to allow him to regain some health whenever he goes back, but that would be pretty overpowered if he can. Also, like his Q, he's throwing this thing, and once it hits, it puts the opponent suspended juggling animation so he can extend combos. I mean, what they did just jaw dropped me. This is really good. Because they could have just had the character, gave him some abilities that it has nothing to do with the game. But no, like they are trying their best in order to maintain the actual toolkit of the character, and that's really great. The characters themselves, in my opinion, need just a little bit more work. But then again, this is probably not the final product. It looks a little bit clunky, that's what I'm trying to say. And I think they should have a little bit more frames going on for them. Because right now, it's serviceable, don't get me wrong, but it would just look a little better if they had a couple more animations, especially when they're walking and whatnot, in order to make it look more fluid. Because right now it feels just a little bit clunky. That's literally the only criticism I have about this game. And one of the things that they really, really spend time on, and I'm really happy with it, is the netcode. And the netcode is the most important thing for any fighting game out there. And apparently they have people who have worked on previous fighting games before, so they know what they're doing. And they're going to use some Riot technology in order to give you even less lag. So if someone, for example, has latency issues, it's only going to be the person that has the latency problem that's going to see lag on their screen. But the person that has a good internet connection, they're going to be able to play just fine. So I really like this because I remember other games where, I think it was like in Street Fighter V, if one person in the beginning had latency issues, then the other person would suffer as well, and this is just not fair. You know, fix your damn internet, because this encourages cheaters. It encourages people to purposefully lag their own connection so that they can have an advantage. And just look at this combo. Look how great it is. So Ahri manages to maintain her mobility toolkit, and she can do all of these really cool aerial combos. And this is another thing. The developers actually said that their purpose is not to make an easy game. Their purpose is to make a game that's challenging at all skill levels. So obviously you're going to get the ability to play ladder or some sort of ranked. And when you start the game, you're going to play with new players, and then you're going to level up and you're going to play with more tougher opponents. So everyone can have fun, right? I mean, just because the game is complex and you can do really cool aerial combos doesn't mean you have to do them. You're going to play with other people who don't know how to do them in the beginning. And as you're learning the mechanics, you're going to face off more and more skilled opponents. So as long as it's easy to learn but difficult to master, then I'm all for it. I don't want easiness in a fighting game. I want people who spend a lot of time in the lab, as they call it, in the fighting game community, to be able to be better than people who just pick up the game. But at the same time, if you just picked up the game, you should be fighting against other people who just picked up the game. Look at these combos. Look how great they look, right? So another thing that I love is that Darius seems to be a melee, hands-on, close combatant. Echo seems to be mid-range. Ahri seems to be all about mix-ups. So yeah, I mean, it's really nice. And I guess this is like the Ultra that we're seeing. Now, the only thing that I find a little bit meh, but I guess I can live with it, is the fact that this is an assist fighter. So as you can see here, Jinx can call in Darius for an assist, and Echo can call in Ahri. And I really don't like these types of game as much, to be honest. I prefer the 1v1. But I get what they're doing. They're pointing out, okay, this is initially a MOBA, so when people think of League of Legends, they think of team play strategy, so you should be able to call in a teammate in order to extend the combo or to get you out of a sticky situation or to just extend your zoning. So I get what they're doing. It's just that I would have preferred it was a 1v1. Still, I don't think it's enough to make me not like the game. And especially given how cool the combos look and how interesting they've managed to get the characters to be like, I'm really excited. I wonder what their form of monetization is. Obviously, fighting games, they can monetize two ways. So the way Street Fighter V does it, if you play the game a lot, you get some in-game currency, which can use to buy additional characters, and the costumes can also be bought with the in-game currency or real money. Now, given that it's Riot, I think you will be able to just play the game and unlock characters, and you're going to have to spend real money if you want to buy additional costumes for the characters. And by the way, this is fine with me. Like, I don't mind if they choose this monetization path. So just play the game and you get some points and you can unlock additional characters. Maybe they can even release characters over the course of the game. So that's something that I'm okay with. But we'll see. They haven't spoke anything about monetization, and in fact, they said that the game is not ready yet, but it's definitely past its alpha stages, and hopefully we're going to get more information about it next year. But overall, I'm really glad that there's more work to be done when it comes to this. I mean, they said they're happy with the combat system and the way the game works mechanically, so now they have to work more on the actual polishing. I suppose graphic-wise they have to work more, and they're going to obviously focus on the UI. Believe it or not, the UI can actually make or break a game. I know a couple of fighting games that are really great, but because they have bad UI and it's difficult to tell a lot of things, people don't enjoy them. And if people don't enjoy them, then it doesn't have a strong community, and the game is dead in the water. So yeah, the UI is surprisingly important, and if you mess it up, then you might end up having people not want to play your game. So I hope other people who are excited about fighting games are also excited about this. And even if you don't like this, even if you're like meh, but you just like other fighting games, take into account that this has the possibility of bringing so many people into the fighting game genre. Because you get a lot of people who like to play League of Legends and they might pick this game up and give it a try. And if they like it, they're going to go, all right, well, let's play some Street Fighter. Let's try some Mortal Kombat. Let's try some Guilty Gear. I think it's going to bring a lot of people over to the fighting game genre, and it's going to be really great. Let me know what you guys think. You know, usually I make doom and gloom videos on this channel, but every now and then there is something that I see which I really like, and I guess I gotta talk about it.